the girl discovered something terrifying. A dog was desperately struggling in the pool, yet she coldly drew the curtains, until the dog lay motionless in the water. Only then did she pretend to just discover it and call her father. Putting on a show of heartbreak and sadness, she was what people called naturally evil. That day in class, a bee flew in. While other students scattered in fear, she boldly trapped the bee with a water cup, then sealed the cup with a piece of paper. Under the shocked gaze of the whole class, she calmly released the bee outside the window. The reason she did this was to cover up her ugly side. A female classmate was showing off her birthday gift. Mary felt intense jealousy. She deliberately bumped into that classmate, then pretended to care while helping her up. After the other students left, the watch had made its way to her hands. Every night before bed, she would practice fake smiles in the mirror, hoping her sweet and lovely appearance would help cover up her bad behavior. The school was selecting the most caring child. Mary appeared confident, as she had won this award for many consecutive years. But the teacher announced the winner was Paul, Mary's deskmate. Paul excitedly went up to receive the award, unaware that Mary was already dissatisfied. She couldn't suppress her anger. Her feet began to shake uncontrollably, though her father comforted her thoughtfully. Mary remained unconvinced, because she thought Paul could barely speak properly, and had no right to take her medal. Seeing her father become serious, she immediately changed her expression. A smile instantly appeared on her face, expressing happiness for Paul's win. While the parents were talking to each other, Mary lured Paul to the cliffs by the sea. She looked at Paul, who had taken her medal, her eyes filled with dissatisfaction. Her cold expression made Paul feel uneasy. Just before everyone was about to leave, a female classmate screamed upon finding Paul. When the adults reached the seaside, Paul had already lost consciousness, and the medal on him had disappeared. Mary coldly watched the adults' actions, pretending to be scared and hiding in her father's arms. That night, David discussed the incident with Mary's aunt. The aunt worried it would leave a shadow in Mary's mind. Little did they know Mary was eavesdropping outside. Early the next morning, David wanted to comfort Mary, but Mary coldly smiled, even happily shaking her feet. At Paul's memorial service, Mary showed no grief. David went to comfort Paul's parents. When they greeted Mary, Mary actually shed tears. Paul's mother mentioned the medal. She thought it had sunk to the bottom of the sea. David helped Mary clean her room. Toys accidentally fell to the floor. When he knelt down to pick them up, he didn't notice the medal under the bed. Mary walked in just in time, questioning why her father was in her room. Seeing her father's confused expression, she immediately displayed a sweet smile. David looked through photos from the parents' meeting, discovering Mary had been fixated on the medal. With that fierce look in her eyes, made my hands start to tremble. David began to notice Mary's unusual behavior. To better take care of his daughter, he hired a new nanny. Anna was surprised that David, divorced for years, could be so devoted and wealthy, so she started to plot something else, determined to become the lady of this house. When David wasn't home, Anna would steal his candy. However, all her actions were witnessed by Mary. With this leverage against her, she immediately made her do something terrible.